And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Howdy folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at The Crew. Now this is a small trick-taking game from Cosmos, but there's a couple interesting things about it. One, it's a cooperative trick-taking game. Two, there are 50 missions in this game, which are 50 different ways to play the game, and you're supposed to play the missions in progressive order. And three, this game is coming with a certain amount of hype. Now I tend to be kind of dig my heels into the ground when a hype game comes out, because it's like, well, just because everyone's saying it's amazing, you know, it kind of is a self-fulfilling prophecy sometimes. You're told the game's amazing, so therefore it is. It was a small game. I went to Board Game Geek Con. Everyone there was like, have you played the Mind? And were trying to play it with me. So I did end up playing it, and this is the German version of the game, but it is being reprinted in English next year, very soon actually. So I figured I would talk a little bit about this game and tell you if the hype is real. The Crew has a main deck of cards that is numbered from 1 to 9 in 4 different suits: yellow, pink, blue, and green. It also has a 5th suit numbered 1 through 4 in rockets, and that is the most powerful suit. And what you're going to do for 3 to 5 players is each mission, you're going to take this deck, shuffle it, and divide it evenly between all the players. Players are going to look at their cards. They cannot show them to the other players, and whoever draws the 4 rocket ship, the most powerful card in the deck, is going to take this in front of them, and they're going to be leading the mission. Now each mission plays out the same way in how the play style is. Players are going to be looking at their hands of cards, and they can play any card they want from their hand. Whoever has the 4 rocket ship will play first. If a color card is played, each other player must play the same color card in front of them. If you don't have that color card, you can play any card from your hand. After all the cards are played, whoever played the highest color of the card that was led, the first card played, will win the trick. That's called one trick out of a round. The only thing that's different than that is if players are playing cards and somebody plays the trump card, the rocket ship, then whoever plays the highest rocket ship will win. But remember, you cannot play a rocket ship unless you have no color of the card that's led, or if the person who led played a rocket ship. So those are the basic rules of how it works. There are 2 things now that are going to differentiate this game from other trick-taking games. One of these is this logbook, and in this logbook there are 50 different missions, and you probably should play through those missions in order. So mission 1, for example, tells you to shuffle this small deck of cards. Now this small deck of cards has 1 through 9 of the 4 different colors, no rocket ships. And when you shuffle this, you're going to draw 1 card, turn it over, so here's the 8 of green. You're going to put this in front of the person who is leading the round. That person must take a trick, win a trick that has the 8 of green in it. They must win the 8 of green. If they do, then all players cooperatively win the game. Now that can be a little tricky to do because you're not allowed to talk about what's in your hands to other players, but you can give a little bit of information. Each player gets a communication token in front of them. And once per round, you can do it anytime you want except in the middle of one trick. But you can do it before or after any trick in the game. You can reveal a card from your hand, showing it to all the other players. Now everyone knows who has the 4 rocket ship because that person starts. But you can reveal another card, or the 4 rocket ship if you want, and you'll place it in front of you. It's still part of your hand. But when you put it in front of you, you then are going to put this communication token on top of it. If you put it at the top, that means it's the highest card of that color in my hand. If I put it on the bottom, it's the lowest card of that color in my hand. And if I put it in the middle, it's the only card of that color in my hand. I can take this card here and put it in my hand just to remind me as I look through my hand of cards, like, oh yeah, I have 1 on the table. So this is the only communication that players can do with each other, and they're going to do it in such a way that whoever is leading the trick, or whoever is the leader of the round, takes the 8 of green. If someone else takes the 8, you all lose. If the person who's leading it takes the 8 of green, then you all win. Immediately, you don't have to play out the rest of the hand. That's mission 1. In mission 2, you draw 2 cards, and the person who's leading the trick takes 1, and the next person will take 1. And now I have to win the green of 8, and Sarah has to win the 9 of pinks. Then in the third round, you're going to put out numbers, so I have to win my trick first, she has to win her trick second, and so on and so forth. Maybe there'll be 3 out there that people have to win. Maybe one person has to win no tricks. There are 50 different things you've accomplished, and they get harder and harder. I mean, all the way up to mission 50. So like I said, there's 50 different missions in here, and you might have to win one thing on the last trick. There are tokens that you can place out that says one trick has to be taken before another. This one here, one person wins the last trick. There's a way to make it easier. You can play this. I've actually not used this yet, this token, where everyone can pass a card to another player. However, I'm assuming on the harder missions that is something you'll have to do. That is the game. Each mission can be played multiple times, or when you're finished with a mission, you can go on to the next mission. A mission could be one trick. Well, only the first mission, probably. Could be a few tricks, but most of the time you're going to play until either you win or until collectively you realize you're going to lose. Now, I'm not going to talk about the components too much here because this game is being reprinted in English and will be out soon, and so I know the cards will be different quality, better quality actually, but just noticing that there are 4 colors. In low lighting, I've noticed the green and blue are hard to tell apart, but you also can see they have different symbols on to tell them apart. There's also this whole space theme, and in fact the logbook has this whole epilogue, and this is what's going on in each mission, and I don't care at all. That doesn't really matter. But there is 2 rule books. There's a rule book itself that explains how to play, and then a rule book that has the missions in it itself. It's a card game. Those are the components. I want to be very clear on something. I consider this game, since it is not out in English at this point in time, and since it's coming out in English in the beginning of 2020, I'm considering it a 2020 game. The reason I say that is because if I consider this a 2019 game, this would be my favorite game of the year. Not only is this my favorite game I played in a long time, it is my favorite trick-taking game that I've ever played. It is probably, or close to, the game that I played the most this year. And it is a game right now that if you came up to me and said, would you like to play this? I would drop almost everything to do so. In case I'm not being clear, I love this game. The crew is phenomenal. Now, part of that is because I like trick-taking games and I like cooperative games. And the mixture of those together is great. Another part is that while I'm not a real big fan of this no communication or weird communication, the limited communication that is in the crew is a fascinating logic-style communication. So if you play a card and I'm like, that is your highest blue card, and you played a 5, I know that you have more than one blue card, because you would have said it's your only blue card otherwise, and I know I have the 2 and the 3, therefore you got a 4 in your hand there, or the 1, so I can figure these things out. And it's just this, everything. For those people who grew up playing Rook or Spades or Hearts or these style games, this is like, wow. Now, I will say, I played with my in-laws, and it took a while for them to get over the fact that we weren't competing. No, this is a cooperative game. We're working together. But the idea of the puzzle, as you watch the cards being played, is just amazing. There are 50 missions in here. I played mission 1 like 7 times. I played mission 2 even more than that, because mission 1 is pretty easy. But I highly recommend that if you're playing this with people, when I first was taught the game, someone was like, hey, we're going to play mission 25. I'm glad I didn't do that. It is much better to start at the beginning. And the thing is, you could say, I played mission 1, and now I'm going to mission 2, and once you're done with 50 missions, you're done. No, I can play the same mission over and over because the order of cards is different that players get. The card that you have to win is going to be different. And it's really neat. Like, for example, one of the missions doesn't even have to you win cards. The person who's the lead asks each person, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? And they're like, sick or not sick. And they go around. And then you pick one person, and that person is the sick player. and that person can't win any tricks. Again, with the same communication. Knowing when to play the trump. Forcing someone to get rid of all their cards of one color so that they, when you get it and you're like, I have to win the 2 of blue. And I have the 2 of blue. How do I do that? And it's this fascinating, exhilarating puzzle. Now, the game is not perfect, I think, because if someone is not a trick-taking player, if they come into this never having played a trick-taking game before, you can get it, you can learn it, and you can enjoy it. But you're going to be a little bit treading on the toes of people at the table who know what to play, when, and where. And this game is definitely the style of game where it's like, I can almost point in every round, this was the moment we lost when this player played this card. Maybe because I just made an error, and it's been me many times. Like, oh, I played the card, oh, wrong one to play at this point in time. But the game is so fast that I don't necessarily care about that, and it is a learning experience. And it's just neat. You're like, all right, shuffle them up, let's play again. Shuffle them up, let's play again. Very rarely am I like, let's play the same game over and over. This game is like a 10 out of 10 for me. That's how much I enjoy this. It's just the simple. I mean, I don't even know if anything in the game feels super brand new, but it's the combo of cooperative trick taking, which is amazing, and that really cool deduction where there's 5 pieces of information. I know who has the 4 of rocket ships, and then I know 4 other cards. And when to play that card, at first it's like, maybe I should play the card right away. So everyone knows, oh, if someone needs to take the 6 of green, I have the 6 of green, here it is. But I might not even be able to show that because it might not be my highest, lowest, or only. I made to play a green card, now it's my highest. And oh, folks, I cannot talk about this one enough. This is not for everyone probably. If you don't like trick-taking games, I don't think this is going to change your mind. But if you've not played too many trick-taking games, or if you find trick-taking games to be uber competitive, which they are. I've run into bridge players and other people and it's like, this one works really well, unless you're playing with a competitive player who's going to scream at you if you mess up. But I've seen some of the best card players ever mess up in this game. And then we kind of laugh, we shuffle them up, deal them out again, and play again. The crew is phenomenal. My highest recommendation when it comes out next spring, get it. Dice Tower Judgment, excellent.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando, in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching the Dice Tower.